Hi ladies, so today's video is going to be on a review slash demo of the very popular foundation, the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. So I have this foundation in the color warm beige. Basically this foundation is said to, at least the company says that it's supposed to be this lightweight yet quite full coverage foundation. From what I've heard, it's kind of a high medium found coverage. Okay, and also it said it is oil free foundation, and it's said to be very such it's said to not be very detectable, so it won't look like you're having very thick foundation. It's supposed to look very natural. Now, I have had this foundation for quite a couple of months now, and I would admit that actually I do like this foundation quite a lot. I think that the coverage it gives is wonderful. It doesn't feel very oily and thick. But of course, there have been concerns from friends and other people that whether it's oily, will your face become oily throughout the day? And I have seen some reviews in which it does. So I'm just going to show how this works with my skin. Basically, I have kind of normal to combination, a little bit oily at times skin. Yeah, and how I use it. So basically, I definitely will put a primer under anything these days. So I'm just going to use the Catrice Prime and Fine Pore Refining Anti-Shine Base. Okay, so my face is ready for the foundation. Let's get pumping. So it comes with a very nice packaging, and it comes with a nice pump. So usually I don't use too much. I'll use maybe one pump is kind of enough for me. And what I'm gonna use is that I'm gonna take the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and I'm gonna just take some of it, and I'm gonna work it in. The coverage is really nice. So I'm gonna just do half face first just to show you how it looks like. But my face doesn't, I don't have any blemishes or scars, so might not be an accurate measure if you have that kind of problems. But I do have dark circles, so that would be something you can consider. So I'm just going in nearer a bit. It looks quite natural, the finish. My dark circles are like diminished once I just put it on. I don't even need kind of a concealer anymore. Okay, and it feels rather lightweight. And it's kind of a little bit dewier, the finish. It's not completely matte. So I'm gonna just do the other side of the face. Blends pretty nice. It's not a streaky foundation. Um, and it doesn't feel dry. It actually feels quite hydrating itself on its own. Okay, so one pump actually, I think it does a pretty good job already on its own. Usually I don't layer foundation because I feel like the layering kind of sometimes makes it oilier, so I don't like that. So I prefer not to layer on foundation. I prefer to just leave it. Okay, so anyway, it's all buffed in, right? I've used up everything that I pumped on my hand. I don't think I need another layer, so this is pretty alright. I'm just gonna come nearer so you can see. Yeah, so that's what the foundation looks like. Okay, it has covered up the dark circles, as well as I have actually, sometimes you can see veins on my skin here, and it has covered that up. Gives quite a nice finish. It's quite natural finish, not too matte. A little bit on the dewy side, I would say. And yeah, so I think that this foundation is quite nice at the first application. What I like to do is I always powder my foundation because it is just the Singapore weather. It's very hot. You definitely, some oil is definitely going to come out. So I'm not, I'm not too comfortable just leaving it. So what I'm gonna do is, but just for the sake of today's video, I'm just going to powder half my face and leave the other half to kind of naturally get oily. Alright, so I'm just gonna use my Bobbi Brown sheer what is this? The Sheer Finish Pressed Powder, my Real Techniques powder brush. I'm hitting pan on this, and so I'm just going to powder this half on my face. So okay, to set the foundation. And see if at the end of the day we see any difference there. Okay, so as you can see, by setting it, it's already taken down some of the shine and it looks more like a velvet finish, which actually, to be honest, is the finish that I would prefer over the other side, which is quite luminous, but it looks very natural if you do not powder that. So maybe we'll just see how it lasts throughout the day and whether it breaks down and dies. But anyway, today I'm not really going to do anything too strenuous, just hang out around house, going to do some work, and we'll check back and see how this does at the end of the day. The time is around 2:30 p.m. right now. This is how it looks. Hi ladies, so the time now is around 7:35, so it has been around 5 hours. So I'm doing kind of a check-in right now. So this side is the side that was powdered, this side was the one that was not. As you can see, there is a slight difference. The side that is powdered is a little less shiny than this side, but overall it's getting shinier, especially on the forehead. If I just blot like this, yeah, there's some oil over there. But I don't feel that it's anything that cannot be contained with a blot. So I'm just gonna take a tissue here and just quickly blot through, just to kind of show you how that does. Personally, I think it's quite reasonable for a foundation to kind of need blotting like in 5 hours. So I still think it's okay. And I'm kind of quite surprised by this side though. The side that was not powdered, it actually has held out pretty okay. Compared with the powder side, they are looking pretty much the same. Yep. So I guess as you can see, once you've blot everything, it looks okay. So I'm gonna just show you closer out how it's holding up on the skin. Of course, some has run off because I was blowing my nose, but my under eyes are still quite concealed. Around the mouth, I kind of was wiping a little aggressively, so it has dropped off a bit. But here, for example, it still looks quite nice. And this side, so I don't see it breaking up or because of the oil like falling to pieces all over my face. Hi ladies, so we are coming to the end of the night because I need to go and wash this off. I know it's kind of like, it's only kind of 8:51, so I know it's not like that late, but I really got to wake up early the next morning. So how has it been? At 7 plus I blotted, and since then I have not much trouble with the oil situation. I think it wears pretty nice, although the nose part has rubbed off, the mouth part has rubbed off a bit because of all eating and like sneezing and blowing my nose and that sort of thing. The rest of it still looks pretty alright. So what's the conclusion? I quite like this foundation. I like that it's full coverage. I like that it's quite lightweight. And I also like the kind of it doesn't look too matte. It's actually very skin-like. Although, of course, to say that it's undetectable as makeup is a bit too far-fetched. Anyway, what I maybe don't like is doesn't have a oil controlling property. So it's, I mean, this amount of oil is very normal for me, like for anything, like whether I'm wearing a foundation or not. It's kind of normal amount of oil, so I can deal with it. And another thing is it does rub off sometimes. It's not especially long wearing, but it's okay. So that's all. I mean, it's not specifically built for long wearing. So I think that, well, I think it's quite worth the money, the foundation. I do enjoy it a lot, but of course, different skins, it works differently. Make sure you moisturize. It probably also works better with a primer. So that's all for today, and I hope to see you ladies again next time. Bye!